Touchdown! San Francisco!
McCaffrey's going to score.
He gets picked off by Hufanga. Fred Warner with the INT. George Kittle.
That's a sackaroonie, baby.
The ball is out. It is picked up. Run back the other way.
Welcome back, 49er faithful. I am your host, Javen Takar. Welcome back to the Gold Rush podcast. Of course, you read the title. We're going to be discussing this Brandon Aiyuk situation. He wants to get paid. The 49ers want to bring him back. What is realistically going to go down? So we've got a lot of situations that we can discuss, that we can talk about. So sit back, relax, and let's stress ourselves a little bit before we're going into the draft season, before we get into the combine. We've got to deal with who's in-house first. Brandon Aiyuk is a top priority. He was clearly the wide receiver one this season, it seemed. Of course, Deebo Samuel, he was in and out. He missed, 5 games, I want to say. And Aiyuk was just a lot more involved, a lot more looked at, with Brock Purdy leading the helm. And now he's heading into his 5th year, and nobody wants to play on that 5th-year contract. And so he wants to get paid. He wants that bag. And with all due respect to him, he deserves it, of course. So let's talk about, what's the reported value, the estimated value that Brandon Aiyuk is going to get paid. We're talking about $24-25 million a year. That's a lot of money for a team that has Christian McCaffrey, the highest paid running back, Trent Williams, the highest paid O-lineman, Deebo Samuel, who I want to say is top 3 highest paid wide receiver, George Kittle, who again is up there with the tight ends, Nick Bosa, the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, Fred Warner, who again probably up there. And I feel like I'm missing some other guys. I feel like Eric Armstead also, he's getting paid a lot of money as well. So that's a lot of money being distributed amongst, 6-7 guys. We got to fit in another 25 million guy in there. And how are they going to do that? Well, first and foremost, it seems like a lot of the guys are very team first. It seems like, Shanahan, he's always stressed the team chemistry, the team first guys, and it seems like there's a lot of guys like that. So first and foremost, I think that there's going to be some restructures going on. You probably restructure Kittle, you restructure Armstead, you probably even restructure Trent Williams. Deebo definitely needs to be restructured, and you push that money back so you got enough to pay Aiyuk up front, and that'll hopefully lead to Aiyuk coming back. That's the first step, though. Luckily, the NFL salary cap raised, I want to say, to raise $30 million. And so that's huge for the 49ers to bring back Brandon Aiyuk and Jawan Jennings, too. We can get into Jawan Jennings a little bit as well, because he definitely deserves a spot on the roster. And I do believe that he will be re-signed and bought back. I think that everybody will be back, or everybody that wants to be back and isn't chasing that bag. If they're chasing a ring, I do hope that they will be back. But let's focus on Brandon Aiyuk here for a second. And so it seems he is a little unhappy with the 49ers, a little unhappy with Kyle Shanahan. In the Super Bowl, Brandon Aiyuk was only targeted 6 times, 3 receptions, 49 yards. That was it. That was all we saw from Aiyuk in the Super Bowl. Now, mind you, the Chiefs have a really, really good secondary. You've got L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed, just to name a few. So it was just tough to get the ball in the receiver's hands in the first place. That being said, though, I do think that with Shanahan's play calling and scheming, plus Aiyuk's route running and skill, I think that if they both work together, we could have got Aiyuk going a little bit. And he could have had that big production game, that big Super Bowl MVP type game that we've seen. And even just throughout this whole playoff run, of course, with the Detroit Lions game, 3 receptions again, 68 yards. He was targeted 8 times. He had that touchdown, bounced off the defensive back's face mask right into Brandon Aiyuk. He made a great catch. That was all fun and dandy. But, without that, his stats look a lot different. Point blank period. And then against Green Bay, again, 3 catches, 32 yards, and that's it. So I understand where he's coming from, truly, because you got to think this is a wide receiver one. This is a guy who should be getting 7, 8 receptions a game, not even counting the targets. And he can definitely find that type of production elsewhere. Outside, he's going to get his work. He's going to average, 100 yards every game. Actually, well, let's see. What did he average this season? He averaged 17.9. I think that's per catch. I think he averaged 17 per catch. And again, he was getting targeted a lot, no doubt about it. He was getting his work in, especially compared to last season where he did eclipse 1,000. He's only been getting better and better and better. His rookie year, he had 700 yards. The year after that, 800. Then he hit 1,000. Now he got 1,300. If he keeps up this pace, he might hit 1,500 next year. And it does suck, obviously, to see a guy that talented only get the ball 3 times in a game. But at the end of the day, you got to think, hey, this team also has Deebo Samuel. This team also has a Christian McCaffrey. This team also has George Kittle. That kind of forces Aiyuk into that 3rd, 4th option role where it's like, man, it kind of sucks for him because truly he shouldn't be a 3rd option. The offense runs through Christian McCaffrey. Bang. Who's the tone setter? Deebo Samuel. He gets the screens. He gets the underneath stuff. If they need a reliable guy, it's Jawan Jennings on 3rd down. Brandon Aiyuk kind of gets lost in the mix. Again, it sucks. I'm not defending this. I'm on team bring back Aiyuk. And so it would be interesting to see how the offense is changed without him because he doesn't miss games. So that's another big thing about him. Deebo Samuel, I don't know if he'll ever play a full season. Brandon Aiyuk, that's a receiver 1 type body. He's got the build. He's got the skill. He's got the route running. Yeah, Sauce Gardner was tweeting out, he doesn't see a guy that gets more open than Brandon Aiyuk. That's high praise from a very talented player. He does always seem to be open. There always seems to be like 4 yards, 3 yards separations from the nearest defender. And he is nasty going down the field. And of course, once Purdy gets that arm developed a little bit more, it's going to be dangerous. We already saw him taking downfield shots to Aiyuk. It's going to get nasty, folks. So let's talk about, let's mention social media. Aiyuk really didn't post much as far as I'm concerned. It's mostly just the family members. So his girlfriend, after the Super Bowl was saying this might be the last time at Levi's, and it got everybody talking. Oh no, what is she talking about right now? Okay, maybe she misspoke. Maybe she just was saying like last time this season, maybe. And then one of Brandon Aiyuk's close friends put out on his Instagram story. Let me actually pull it up because I want to give it verbatim because I don't want to mess up on it. So he posts on his Instagram story, "This is the exact reason why we leave in San Francisco. Thank you 49ers for drafting my brother. We are forever grateful. BA to Vegas." And then second post saying, "All pro 1,300-yard receiver after 3 catches in the Super Bowl." Again, talking about how he wasn't really getting targeted. And then, Brandon Aiyuk posts on his story, "Don't forget what got you there. Eye emoji." And so I posted a TikTok about this and people were losing their marbles. Hey guys, let's just calm down a little bit, okay? I do think that part of it is just a leverage tactic. We saw it with Deebo Samuel. We saw it with Nick Bosa. Even Fred Warner a little bit was saying some stuff. When they needed contract extensions, you got to do what you got to do to get your bag. And unfortunately, of course, it's a bad look. And it's like, what's going on here? I don't think too much into it. Once Brandon Aiyuk puts that pen to paper on a 4-year, $60+ million contract, whatever, 80, he'll get his money. It'll all be erased and we'll forget about it and laugh going on. But let's say, okay, they don't get a deal going. Okay, what's the move? So Aiyuk is still under contract with the 49ers for 1 more year. So if they don't agree on a contract, he could be on the move. And it could come draft day. It could come, anytime throughout this period, but probably before the draft if anything were to go down. And so what are some potential teams? People were saying the Saints. That could be interesting. I don't really see them making the move, though. They've always been kind of in cap space, dealing with cap space problems, and now they're paying Derek Carr a big bag, so I don't really see the Saints, because whatever team trades for him, they've got to extend him. They've got to give him a 25+ million a year. The Jets could be really interesting. You've got Aaron Rodgers, you've got Garrett Wilson, you've got Breece Hall. Go on ahead and build that receiving threat, because frankly, it's weak. It's weak. After Garrett Wilson, who you got, Allen Lazard? Come on. Let's not fool ourselves. Go out, get yourself a solidified receiver. One, you've got two really young, really shifty, really talented receivers. That's a team to beat. The Jets would be very fun. The Texans, I light up, and it's kind of bad, but the Texans would be really fun. DeMeco Ryans going out and getting himself a receiver one. That's a nasty receiving core of Tank Dell, of Nico Collins, Noah Brown, and then you're adding Brandon Aiyuk on top of that. A solidified receiver one, Collins and Tank Dell, those are great receiver 2s and 3s. Noah Brown, that's a great rotational guy. CJ Stroud, of course, he's him. And you can go out and even, I believe the Texans have a lot of cap space. I mean, you've got a quarterback on a rookie deal. He is a first-round quarterback, though. Collins and Dell shouldn't be getting paid that much. I mean, who's really getting paid on that Texans team? Laramie Tunsil, I suppose. You've got Will Anderson as well on a rookie deal. Derek Stingley on a rookie deal. You've got all these guys on a rookie deal. You can go out, you can drop a bag on Brandon Aiyuk, plus go on ahead, get a Saquon Barkley, get a Derrick Henry, get an Austin Eckler. You can get all of them if you want. That is a Super Bowl contending team. Don't want to sound too excited now. Then the Giants, of course, are in talks. I feel like they needed a true receiver for years. They've just been drafting guys, and they've had Sterling Shepard for forever, I feel like, and Darius Slayton as well. And they're not receiver ones, with all due respect to them, but those guys have been Giants for so long, it feels. And Jalen Hyatt, I guess, if they want to try to develop him. You got Wan'Dale Robinson, just a bunch of just guys. So you go out, you get a solidified receiver one. Okay, now you're talking. You're heading in the right direction. The Buffalo Bills, they're paying Josh Allen. They're paying Stephon Diggs. It's going to be tough to really see them get a trade-off here. But you've got Gabe Davis leaving. And they may be able to move around some numbers, to crunch some numbers, open up some cap space, and go on ahead and get Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe not for the long term. Maybe you've got him for a 2-year, 3-year deal. But again, you're in a place to contend then. You've got Aiyuk learning under Stephon Diggs as well. That's a nasty 1-2 duo. And of course, Josh Allen is going to make plays to Brandon Aiyuk. The Titans, of course, their GM was our ex. He's one of our guys. I forget exactly what position he was. Cartman, right? And so he could always go out. I'm sure, Niner guys are always on the move, going to teams who either, the head coach came from us or front office guys. And so the Titans could be a name to watch to go out and get Brandon Aiyuk. Again, a team where they could use a receiver one. You've got a young quarterback who you would like to develop. You surround him with talent and flying colors. And then the Bears, potentially, if they don't end up getting Marvin Harrison, they have the 1st overall pick and they have the 9th overall pick. And I'm not too sure what a trade for Aiyuk would look like, if it is a early 1st round pick, if it's a 1st round pick at all. If we're talking multiple seconds, I would imagine a late 1st round pick could work. So I don't think the Bears give up 9 or 1, but they could always give up something else. Who knows? And they could, if they do want to, you can even draft Caleb Williams. You don't really see much value in 9. You can trade 9 to another team, and then use those assets to trade for Aiyuk. I'm not too sure. I'm not a general manager. So those are some teams. Let me know some other teams that you guys think could also pull the trigger for Brandon Aiyuk, because again, that's a receiver one right there, folks. He's only getting better. Any team is going to love to have him. And then a last scenario that I want to talk about that I really don't think will happen, but I mean, never say never. Deebo Samuel on the move. I've seen a lot of Niner fans surprisingly come out and say, Trade Debo. Trade Debo. And honestly, okay, if it comes down to Debo and Aiyuk, okay, I understand trading Debo. He's getting paid more. He's a little bit older. He's obviously more injury prone. Keep Brandon Aiyuk. And honestly, I do see this happening. Maybe not exactly Debo, but somebody could be getting traded. And it comes down to, we think back in 2019. We think about losing the Super Bowl. We've got two really, really good defensive tackles. Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. Buckner wanted, I believe, like $1, maybe $2 more million than Armstead was asking for. Ended up trading him for pick number 13. Could that happen? Could that be the same situation here? Deebo Samuel, Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk is asking for a little less. Deebo's a little older. He's getting paid a little bit more. He could be on the move. I do think you probably get more for Brandon Aiyuk, but I do believe that teams will also be interested in Deebo Samuel, hoping for that uniqueness, that extra dimension he brings to their offense. Just a scenario, not saying it's going to happen, not saying I hope it happens, just something to be aware of, to open your mind to, because at the end of the day, it's a business, and you got to do what's best for business and what's best to build a Super Bowl winning team. Of course, the best case scenario would be re-sign Brandon Aiyuk, no problems. You don't have to sacrifice too much, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I hope that we get back Aiyuk. Hopefully he takes a little bit of a pay cut, maybe $22 million, and we'll give him his bag later on. Oh yeah, we got Jawan Jennings as well. It sounds like John Lynch wants Aiyuk back as well. He was interviewed in the Combine today. He said, Brandon's a guy that you want to bring back. They've got a good track record of this stuff, of re-signing guys, and that's true. That's true. There's always these trades and murders. Oh, they're going to trade him. Oh, they're not going to be able to bring him back. But then they always find a way because John Lynch is a great GM. So I'm not too concerned. I believe that they will figure it out and it'll be all good. Probably closer to training camp though, so it's going to be a very long off season. It is what it is, folks. I will catch y'all in the next one. Hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun recording this. Mr. Brandon Aiyuk, come on by. Jawan Jennings, probably put a second round tender on him. If not, I would say probably put a tender on him. Then we can talk extension as well because he deserves his bag as well. And he's been a reliable guy. You just keep the guy. Just keep the band together, man. I will see you on the next one. Tune in Sunday again on Run Amongst Sports. We're going to have the Sunday show. If you missed the last one, you can go on ahead and you can watch that one. It's just me. But this episode, I'll have more people with me, so it'll be a lot more fun. Hopefully, the 49ers figure out their defensive coordinator situation soon. And that'll be all, folks. Make sure you check out the description for all the socials. Alrighty. Peace out, faithful.